Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we're sitting down to film our 5 paleo kitchen essentials. So this video was actually requested by one of our lovely subscribers, and I think we might have had it like a few other times in the past, and we're finally sitting down to film it for you guys.
So these are sort of our short list of the absolute basic essentials that we find we use all the time and have been really worth the investment for living a healthy lifestyle. So we're going to run through all of those in a bit of detail and let you guys know what we use each piece for and what brands we know and recommend.
It's important to mention that you don't need to have any of these things to get started with a whole foods diet, but it will make your life so much easier, especially if you're like in that transition phase and you don't just want to be eating very plain foods.
Or if you're like setting up a new kitchen in a new place and you're kind of inspired at the moment to invest in a few key pieces, these are basically what we would recommend.
And before we jump into this video, we just wanted to remind you guys that enrollments for Get Glowing Online will be closing on the 17th of February at 5 PM PST. So if you want to join our February intake, you can jump on over to getglowing.online to learn more and enroll, and we would love to see you there.
So, having said that, let's get started, and our first thing is a water filter. So we pay a lot of attention to the foods that we eat, but the other part of the equation is all of the fluids, so all the water that you drink during the day, and that's got to be of a high quality as well. And we know that tap water can contain different residues such as heavy metals and also runoff from spraying crops, so things like glyphosate, which we definitely don't want to be drinking in our tap water. Also, you can get things like waterborne viruses and bacteria. And also in Australia, I'm not sure like in which countries this is also done, but we have fluoride added to our water, which you may choose to remove if you are concerned about fluoride. So those are kind of some of the main things, as well as things that make the water taste bad. So chlorine is one of them. So it really pays for your health and also for your water to taste really good, to have a good quality water filter.
And I always just feel like kind of like I'm doing myself a disservice when I start filling up water from the tap. Like drinking normal water, I'm like, oh, I feel like this little part of my brain is like, this is bad.
Yeah, but it does pay with a water filter to invest in something that's really high quality, because there are a lot of filters on the market that are more geared towards taste of water, but not so much cleanliness of the water.
So often,
or the quality.
like those jugs that you can buy from Coles that are water filters,
like the Brita filter,
are more about getting rid of the chlorine and making the water taste better, but not necessarily about filtering out like glyphosate, heavy metals, fluoride, things like that.
So the one that Amy and I, we both have one of these, is the Southern Cross Pottery filter, and it takes out everything. It takes out heavy metals, glyphosate, it also removes fluoride,
nasty bacteria,
and the water tastes really good, and it's sort of like a centerpiece of the kitchen as well. It's a really beautiful filter.
Moving on to our second paleo kitchen essential, we have our blender. So you guys probably guessed that we were going to say this one. Having a blender just makes your life so much easier, and we use our blender like every day. I feel like I almost use it every day. It's an
essential if you want to do smoothies as well.
So if you want to do like smoothies, smoothie bowls, and it also helps if you're short on time. So if you don't have time to prepare a full paleo meal, you can just throw some protein powder, a little bit of fruit, and some, nut milk into your blender, and you're good to go.
And it's not just about smoothies, so a blender is great for also doing soups. So you can do really quick soups in a blender, and we like to roast up pumpkin and just put that straight in, onion and garlic and herbs and coconut milk.
And we do have that recipe up on this channel.
Yeah, and it makes it really easy compared to, say, doing it with a stick blender in a pot.
Yeah, you'd be better just to like skip that completely. Don't buy a stick blender.
I have
an actual blender.
I have a stick blender and I never use it. I always use the Vitamix, so you can use it for that. And you can also do almond milk and other nut milks with your blender. So it's really worth having one in our opinion, and also it kind of is one of those pieces where you get what you pay for. So if you have the cash to invest, we would definitely recommend going with the Vitamix. We are not sponsored by Vitamix in any way, shape or form, but we just really have found it worth the money.
So you're gonna get like a really smooth smoothie. Like a lot of the cheaper brands that you can buy at like Target and things, that's not to say like they're terrible, but you might just find that it's a little bit more chunky.
More bits.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to do things like spinach and kale, like green smoothies, you'll find them more fibrous. But yeah, the Vitamix does a really smooth smoothie, and it also has a lot of different settings, so you can turn it right up to high, really blitz it, or you can also turn it really low, and it helps to combine everything without getting jammed.
Well, the other one that you could purchase, you don't quite have the cash yet for a Vitamix, is a NutriBullet. So a NutriBullet is actually still quite good in terms of mixing everything.
The only thing with the NutriBullet is it's more like a single serve type.
Yeah, and you kind of drink it out of the cup that it comes with. And like a little bit more fiddly maybe, but I still find that it does quite a good job.
Yeah. Our third Paleo kitchen essential is the food processor. So the one that I have at the moment is the Magimix, and I really enjoy that one. Basically, a food processor, a good one, will have multiple different attachments, and also having multiple bowls is quite handy as well. So you may have seen around this, most of them have 2 to 3 separate bowls in different sizes that you can use. But you can make so many things in a food processor. So things like coleslaw, you can chop up all your cabbage, carrot, all your different ingredients in that really quick. You can also do all of your sauces and paleo condiments, so that makes it super easy.
You can do like all of your paleo raw treats, so if you're going to make bliss balls and do like lots of little snacks and things, it's good to have a food processor to break up like nuts and stuff.
Or if you're doing like avocado mousse or any of these sort of desserts where you need to mix together a bunch of ingredients, that's definitely the tool that you need.
And like we get a lot of questions, I feel, when we do recipes. People are like, could I do this in the blender? And a lot of times it doesn't work as well when you put it in the blender for whatever reason.
It just doesn't circulate the same. So in a food processor, that blade really catches everything and pulls it in. Whereas sometimes with the blender, like the Vitamix, you need a lot of liquid in there to make everything move around. Otherwise it just gets jammed because the ingredients are up here and the blade is like down here.
And it's like little space.
Yeah, so it's definitely worth also having the food processor. I'm trying to think if there's anything else you make in it. No, it's like salads, condiments, sauces, desserts. But I would use mine every single week, and I find that having a good quality one has been worth the money as well.
So number 4, we have our slow cooker. So we use our slow cooker all the time. So for our bone broth, and then of course our soups and our stews.
And you can also do all your pulled meats and things in those as well. With the slow cooker as well, this is one item where you don't really need to spend a lot of money. Do you agree?
Yeah, well you can even just like pick one up from Aldi sometimes when they bring them out, or you can just pick one up from like Target.
Yeah, and they rarely cost like over 100 or 150. You can get them even like under 100, yeah. And as long as it's big enough, we feel, to fit a whole chicken and it has a timer on there, you're pretty much good to go. So different sizes will suit different, like if you have a bigger family, you might want to go for one of the really big slow cookers. Otherwise you can just go for the sort of regular size. But it's really an essential, isn't it?
Yeah, well if you're doing bone broth all the time, you definitely want one. And if you're in like a place where it's cold and you're doing like a lot of soups and casseroles, it's really just good for those meals where you just like set and forget as well.
Like really hearty, good meals, especially if you want to get into eating more sort of off cuts, like the cuts of meat that have more that gelatinous, really healthy, healing fats and proteins in there. So, you know, you can't really eat certain cuts on the fryer pan or the grill. So it really pays to get a slow cooker and learn how to use it. So our 5th and final paleo kitchen essential is the Noodle Maker. So if you are transitioning away from sort of a standard Western diet and you still want noodles to be in your life, then it's worthwhile grabbing a Noodle Maker. Now, if you think that you're going to be making a lot of different noodles and you want to do carrots and sweet potatoes and other hard veggies, we would definitely recommend getting something a little more heavy duty. So the one that we use at the moment is the OXO brand. And that's been a lot better, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been so good. And what we like about this brand in particular, again, not sponsored, is that it has like the little grippy thing, so that when you put it on the table, it'll suction down to the table so that it's not moving while you try to spiralize. A lot of them that I see online, they look a little bit flimsy, like when you're using them you can kind of tell that the person is struggling. It's like it's moving around and they're like, ah.
Yeah,
So,
this one definitely, you have a little lever and it suctions to the bench and it is unmovable.
yeah.
And it's really
Or sometimes I like
easy.
suction it down, I'm like, I can't get it off. You can, it has like a little lever to undo it, but sometimes I'm like, ah!
And it has multiple attachments, so you can do the really thin noodles, so things like zucchini noodles, like zucchini pasta, or you can also do the thicker noodles. So I like to do like spiralized, like curly fries, sweet potatoes. So it can do all the hard veggies, soft veggies with no trouble at all.
Yeah.
But if you are going to just use it sort of once in a blue moon and you mostly just want to do zucchini noodles, you could opt for a smaller, more compact Noodle Maker. So we like the ones from
Betty Bossy?
Betty
Or Bossy
Bossy.
Bessie?
Betty Bossy or Bossy Betty, we'll put it in the description below. And also another one I've got written here is the Spirelli.
Okay.
So those are two little handheld ones that aren't going to take much room in your kitchen if you're feeling a bit cluttered, like you can't fit a big
Another thing.
into your kitchen. Definitely those are great options as well for just sort of on the odd occasion you want to do zucchini noodles.
Oh, and before we finish this one, with the big benchtop one as well, it's easy to clean. See, because I used to look at them online, I was like, that looks like a biatch to clean. But the thing with this one is that the blades come out, so you can just take them out, wash them, and kind of just do a little rinse over the rest of it. So even though it looks like it's going to be kind of a pain in the butt, it's not so bad.
Yeah, and it's definitely the way to go if you're going to do like a big batch, like you want to spiralize 3 zucchinis, like just get the good one.
Yeah.
Those were our 5 paleo kitchen essentials. We hope that you enjoyed this video, that you got some value out of this and you're inspired to sort of do up your kitchen a little bit or add something to your collection. If you have any essentials as well, we would love to hear about them down in the comments below, as well as if you have any questions for us about the products we chatted about.
And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and we will see you in our next video. Bye guys!
Bye!